a raise? What do I need to do to get more bamboo?
Yes, it's true, there are stupid questions at work. I'm here to dispel this myth that you have often heard over and over again where people say there are no stupid questions. And you heard two of them right there. By the way, I'm Chris. This is Columbus. He's my panda buddy on this channel. This is the Office Survival Guide where we help you go through the work week not to just feel like you were surviving it, but feel like you crushed it to give you the skills to be awesome. And in this video, we're gonna help you ask much better questions and not ask the questions that are just kind of stupid. So the first one we'll start with, and it's the one that Columbus said. It was the one where he said,
Can I have a raise?
the question, can I have a raise, by itself is a stupid question because it's a question where you're just saying, hey boss, can you give me more money, right? The way you want to ask that question is basically by talking about all the value that you've delivered and say, hey, I've done all these great things, and then you can ask for more money. And also, it's a question where you may have heard it asked this way in the office where someone will be in like a big team meeting and then they'll ask the question, hey, what does it take to get promoted around here? That is a question, and the question of can I have a raise, that you should ask your boss one-on-one in their office, someplace private, not in a big team meeting, because they really can't have that conversation with you in a huge group. The third stupid question, did you get my email? Never go up to somebody and say, did you get my email? When people come up to me and ask me this question, I go, I don't know, which one? I've gotten an email from you in the past, so you really want to ask a question like, hey, I just sent you an email about the budget 30 minutes ago. Did you have a chance to look at it? Did you have a chance to read it? Right? Really, that's what you want to know, whether they read or processed an email about a certain subject. So make sure you ask that question in that way. The fourth question, also a stupid question, is going up to somebody at work and asking them, are you busy? You know what? I'm at work, and the definition of at work is I'm working, therefore I'm busy. What you really want to ask in that question is, do you have a moment that I could talk to you about something? Or should I come back later, right? That's the question you want to ask, not the, are you busy? When people ask me that question, I generally just kind of look back at them for a while and I'm like, I hope I'm busy. Otherwise, I'm not getting enough tasks from my boss. The fifth stupid question is, can I ask you a question? Don't ask somebody if you can ask them a question, just go ahead and ask the question. That's usually what it is. You might want to say, again, related to the are you busy, you could say, hey, do you have a moment that I could ask you a question? Not, can I have permission to ask you something, right? You want to know if this is a good time or if another time would be better. All right, so those are some specific questions that you can see. Maybe it's a valid thing to talk about, but there's just a totally better way to phrase it. So now here's some other just categories of maybe times that are questions that are stupid or ways to ask them that are stupid. One is if you're part of a team and your team is presenting to your boss, to your boss's boss, your team is presenting to the customer. If someone on your team is presenting and you're in the audience, you should not be asking your team member questions. It makes you look stupid because it's like this person's on the team and the customer or whomever is going to be sitting there going like, these people don't have their act together. So save those questions for later. Unless you're asking them a question to call out something that they forgot to say that you think the customer really needs to hear. In that case, you can ask it in a way to say something like, hey, Bob, didn't you mean to tell them about our great customer feedback? And Bob would, well, yes, I did. Then that is a great question. Another type of stupid question is during like all team meetings where you have like half the company, your CEO's presenting, and you've seen this before where people go up and ask a question that is in fact not a question, right? That's more like a life story or something like that. And then the CEO is up on the stage sitting there at the end of the 3-minute thing going like, was there a question in there? And they'll say, well, I mean, no, I just wanted you to know that. And they'll be like, well, okay, but I was here to take questions. So if you're gonna ask a question to your big boss in some big forum, make sure it's actually a question. Another category of question that is really stupid are the kind of questions that basically provoke your boss. Questions like when your boss rolls out some new initiative and you say something like, why didn't management think of this? Or why is management so stupid anyway? if you're calling out management like that in a question, it's not something you actually want an answer for, but it's something that just is not going to end well for anybody involved. Another category of questions that are just kind of stupid are questions that your boss just can't answer. Questions like, hey, are you planning to lay off a bunch of people? Are you planning to lay me off? Are you planning to lay Bob off, right? Those are questions that they may be planning layoffs, but they definitely can't share those with you. So don't ask those questions because it just puts them in a really bad spot. And finally, don't ask questions that the whole purpose of the question is just to make you look smart, right? Where they'll be like, again, was there a question in there where you're like, hey, did you take a look at, the particle physics book, page 27? Because the formula in there states, and it's like, you could actually just ask a question in a way that doesn't have to call out all the things that you know and actually has that question that's in it. So I want to go back to that first question that Columbus asked, how can he get a raise? And Columbus, you can get a raise in your Bamboo Rations by getting this channel 1,000 subscribers. So if you want to help Columbus get a raise, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Tell your friends because we've got a whole bunch more fun, informative, entertaining videos to help you be awesome in your office job. Well, hey, you might enjoy checking out some of our other videos here and here. Well, this is actually our first video, so when we publish more videos, they'll be here. And if you hit that subscribe button, well, you will make sure to see all of them whenever they're published. Well, we won't say goodbye because we'll see you in the next video.
See you.